Hey everybody, Shibby here again. Thought we would do an in-depth video this time looking at the expected value of Arthurian legends. So obviously this is a fairly complex topic. This video might be a little bit longer than some of the rest to really describe the methodology and to unpack it. But this is now going to be part of the Sorcery price tracking tool. Um, so let me just start by describing some of what's here, and we'll get into some of the details and calculations. So what we're looking at first is specifically Arthurian legends. I might hop over to alpha and beta at the end of the video if there is time. But what you have here is this is being grouped into two primary types of cards. We've got our hits, which are the foils and uniques, and we have our bulk. Within each of those, you can see the categories, and EV is ultimately just a mathematical calculation of what is the probability of hitting certain types of cards and the relative value of those cards. So I had done prior EV estimations in the past, but here I'm building on the shoulders of other people that have done significantly harder work than me, specifically talking about Hain. So Wizard's Den channel has great content, and a lot of the kind of mathematical probabilities here are based on those calculations. So let's look at some of these details. Of course, within a box of Arthurian Legends, there's 24 packs, and on average, you get 4.5 unique non-foils per box. Since that's dedicated into the fourth slot of the pack, naturally, you would have 19.5 elite non-foils. So those two together are going to add up to the 24 packs. In terms of foils, there's 6 foils approximately per box. And using the ratio of 1, 3, 6, 7, this shows the likelihood of hitting a unique foil, elite foil, exceptional, or ordinary. As part of the calculations, this is looking at the actual TCG low price for each of these categories. So based on the number of cards and the relative average price, that is the contribution of that record to the total. So that's the lay of the land. I'm sure you're already looking ahead at some of the numbers, but what you can see here is that at a grand total, a box of Arthurian Legends is going to be an EV of approximately $163. That's significantly better than the $129 suggested retail. The call out here is you can't easily sell a lot of those bulk cards. So I think the better thing to look at would just be the hits. So that's this foils and uniques, and this is saying with no exclusions, the expected value of Arthurian Legends right now is $122. Of course, this is less than the suggested retail. It's of course more than distributor pricing. So for those that are getting Arthurian Legends at distributor pricing, you have an opportunity to make money. For those of you that are buying Arthurian Legends at suggested retail price or potentially higher, there's a pretty good likelihood that you won't make money. Of course, you can have those big hits, and that's what we're going to look at here in just a little bit. But that's the general lay of the land. You can see how each of these categories contribute to the total and what a potential payoff would be. So the fun thing about this, though, is I took it a step further. I said, okay, let's look at a few different scenarios. So in a scenario where you open an Arthurian Legends box and you don't get any unique foil. And before I click that, let me just clarify, there's been a lot of discussion about what is a unique. For the purpose of this, the unique SIRs that are not a true unique rarity, those would be classified down here into the elites. So just wanted to call that out. But okay, back to the task at hand. Let's look at scenario 2, where you open a box and you don't get a unique foil. What does that look like? So in those scenarios, you can see the price of the unique foil is now zeroed out. There is, saying, a declared assumption that you're not going to get one of those in this box. I have shifted that probability into the elite foil slot. And in this scenario, the EV of the box is $86 for the hits. There's been a lot of chat in various discords. I love the market talk section within Cold Foil Heroes. I think there's some really good debate and point of view in those discussions. But there's been people said that, hey, the EV value on these boxes feels really low. And this is a scenario where, yeah, that's probably what's happening. Again, if you were to look at some of the bulk, you might get a little bit closer to your price spec, but not as much. And then scenario 3 is the one that I call my personal luck. And this is when you don't get a unique foil or one of the big hits, which currently is the ring or the four waters. So in that scenario, the EV box price is going to go down even lower. So this is saying, if you don't hit a unique foil and if you don't hit one of these top 2 chase cards, your EV on the box is, based on these current price calculations, $78. So I hope you find this insightful. Again, I have, let me go back, alpha and beta listed as well, so we could see those box prices. I'll just kind of state that the EV on beta is much better. You can also see some notes down at the bottom if you're interested in some of the caveats, the fine print. Of course, this doesn't take into calculation things like the curios or the gilded cards. Those are the big chase cards that if you hit one of those, it's a payday, and you've basically paid for multiple boxes or even the whole case or more. But the likelihood of hitting those is very, very, very low. So that's really what I wanted to cover, is just showing what I calculate the EV of Arthurian Legends. And as a reminder, if this content is interesting to you, this is all available within self-serve dashboard. You can check out the link in YouTube to see the Patreon. Give that a look, see if that's of interest. But nonetheless, if you like this content, specifically these YouTube videos where I'm showing some of the output of the tool and showing some of the content and the pricing, please give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe, and I would really appreciate it. Hope you all have a great rest of the day. Take care.